A controversial call as the Supreme Court of Canada rules 5-4 that the mandatory minimum sentence for possession of child pornography isn't constitutional.
When the courts look at mandatory minimum sentences, they do not look at the offenses of the person who is charged with the crime.
Previous decisions mean the Supreme Court is allowed to look at hypothetical cases when judging constitutionality of the law. In this case, justices considered the possibility of an 18-year-old receiving explicit images from another 18-year-old of that second person's 17-year-old girlfriend. That first 18-year-old didn't ask for the image, but now possesses child pornography.
If there is a reasonably foreseeable scenario in which someone could be prosecuted and charged and sentenced under the same provision, if there's a reasonable possibility of that, then the sentence as a whole is unconstitutional.
Law professor Paul Daly notes the disagreement among Supreme Court justices isn't about using hypotheticals. It's about if that hypothetical case of the 18-year-old is relevant to what's being judged. The 4 dissenting justices wrote that they believe case law says hypothetical scenarios should not be remote, that the case of the 18-year-old isn't one that should apply in the case being judged. The majority justices disagreed, writing their colleagues are focusing on the word remote and not looking at how likely that case is.
If it could foreseeably be imposed on someone who it shouldn't be imposed on, then other people get the benefit of that conclusion.
The Canadian Civil Liberties Association intervened in this case to argue that the Supreme Court should continue to apply hypotheticals as it has in the past, but they underlined that this decision is not about letting anybody convicted of child pornography off easy.
What the court also very clearly said is that the maximum sentence imposed by Parliament is completely appropriate, that these offenses are serious offenses that attract denunciation and deterrence in sentencing.
This is going to be the responsibility of the Liberal government to swiftly take action to correct this, to make sure that anyone who commits this offense does a sentence in jail that reflects the seriousness and the heinous nature of these crimes.
Conservative ethics critic Michael Barrett argues the responsibility now falls on the Liberal Party to make this right in law. In a statement to City News, a spokesperson for Justice Minister and Attorney General Sean Fraser said they're aware of the decision and reviewing its implications carefully, adding in the coming months our government will introduce new measures from our campaign platform to better protect children from horrific crimes. In Ottawa, Shao Li, City News.